No, south.
South Dallas. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the particular coast. Horrible. No, I'm saying, but we down through there too. I know. I'm saying, ain't that
I'm
good?
from Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. You know about the Israelites that fled to Africa during the time of Roman?
I'm a descendant of David.
Well, you're an Israelite. There you go. So that's what we're teaching.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I was told. I was told I'm a descendant of David. If
That's
you
what's
look
up.
at our clan, we use the lion as our symbol,
Right.
the lion of Judah,
Right.
or the lion of Yehuda.
Yeah, that's what's up. Definitely. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, that's what we got.
Okay, you look like you're from the Kohen, the priesthood, right? That's the effort.
See, we got yeah.
Okay, cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, you got men right there. Let's go to the sky. The men over there too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You got guys in Africa too doing the same thing, right? Trying to wake up the Lord's people. They gonna come looking like everybody on the planet because you know how we like to have sex. Our
The
children.
400 years have passed, so
Yeah.
it's time to wake up.
Right. Yep.
Where's Moses then?
He's coming back. Oh, definitely he's coming back. In time.
There should be. There should be a
Man,
Moses somewhere. There should be a Moses somewhere, right?
He's been here. His spirit is here, but he coming.
But the spirit of Moses has been with other people. There's no question about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Probably Martin Luther King had the spirit of Moses to liberate his people.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Garvey, all of them, they come in the same spirit.
Yeah. Yeah, but they deported him.
Yeah, I know.
They had to.
Yeah.
They silenced him. They have to silence him, right? Yeah. Wow. Let me know if I have to get out of your way when you start.
It's all good, bro. Yeah, no, it's all good, man.
Scatter.
Yeah, what is that? Lord say, you know, scatter us into all
It's in Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Deuteronomy 28, 64.
Isaiah 11 and 11, man. Like,
Oh my goodness. Deuteronomy 28:64. My goodness.
All right, Shalom. First off, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, the great millstone, the teacher, rule well, peace and blessings unto the elect. Hey, y'all want to scroll? Come on, put me in a little bit, bro. I think we're looking something like. Okay, come on. Hey, Shalom to, we want to give double honors to the apostles, the great millstone, the teacher, rule well, peace and blessings unto the elect. From the great millstone Dallas camp, from the brother Benaiah, got the priest Makia, the priest Patak, the elder Bon Sapai, got the main camp in the back and the elders. But the great millstone Dallas over there getting it in, man. We decided to come do a side lesson as usual, man, pushing this word, man. Okay, doing our job what the Lord said us to be watchmen. All right, we just had Jay come up, man. First he came up in a humble spirit, man. That's how we could tell. And he said he was from Zimbabwe. Which our people are scattered. Like the Kahan said before we started. I don't know, maybe it did pick it up on the camera. How he said our people are scattered. We're not gonna come back looking like everybody. Not gonna come back looking like Wesley Snipes, man. Right. All black. Our people are gonna come looking like all nations, man. Because the Lord has scattered us among them, man. You see, matter of fact, grab that Isaiah 11 right quick, bro. 11 and 11, man. Because the Lord said He gonna set His hand a second time, man, right, to recover the remnant of His people, man. Okay, now let's see if they're gonna all come back looking like Wesley Snipes, man.
Right. This is Isaiah 11, verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day.
Man. Okay.
That the Lord shall set His hand again the second time.
Yeah, it's gonna be another Exodus, man. We in spiritual Egypt. When was the first time the Lord set His hand? Well, it was in ancient Egypt, man.
Yep.
Okay. When He used the chariot, was when Yahweh was that angel, and in that chariot, man, and Moses, man, they took us out of that land of Egypt, man. Just totally destroyed Egypt, okay, and brought us out of there, man. And likewise, the Lord is going to set His hand a second time. He's going to do the same thing, man. He's going to destroy this new Pharaoh, like it says in Romans 9, man. Esau is that new Pharaoh, okay? And we over here, and this is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, okay, as it states in Revelation 11 and 8, man. Okay, right. So the Lord is going to set His hand a second time.
The Lord shall set His hand again the second time to recover the remnant of His people.
Yeah, the remnant of His people, man. Because the Lord is not going to save all Israel on this side this time, man. Right. That first Exodus, the Lord took all of Israel out of Egypt, man. But the second Exodus, man, it's only going to be a remnant that's going to be saved, man. Okay, time right until where it says in Zechariah, 2/3 shall be cut off and die, man. Okay, and the 1/3 He's going to bring through the fire. That's talking about that remnant, what you see in this remnant being raised up now. Okay, all on the comment boards, brothers putting up videos, man. You see, the remnant is being raised as we speak right now, man. Okay.
It says, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
It says from hey, there was a lot of nations, man. From Egypt, from where did it say, bro? From Egypt, from Pathros,
from Cush,
from Cush,
and from Elam,
and
from Shinar.
So you telling me all of them are gonna come back? They gonna look like they gonna look like a so-called heathen, man. Yep. You see, our people were scattered. You can use the examples of Jake going over there and fighting these different U.S. wars, man. Vietnam, right. You know, World War I and II or whatever, man. Right. You can use those as an example. Jake was over there popping these women, man. Yep. You see, so you telling me that Jake left his seed? Yep. So eventually that seed that may be of a boy, that boy may be raised up in the cultures of those people over there. You know what I'm saying? And he pop another woman, and eventually down the line, they're going to end up looking like a heathen, man. Yep. You see? But that spirit, his spirit goes back unto his father, man, which is an Israelite, you see? So our people are going to be everywhere, man. And they're going to come back. Everybody not going to be like John Shout, man. They're not going to be like Wesley Snipes, man. You see? They're going to come back looking like so-called white man, a so-called Arab man, a so-called Chinese man, you know, a so-called Hawaiian, you know? Because our people are everywhere, man. And the Lord is going to recover that remnant, man. I think that was, you can read that last segment.
Verse 12, it says, he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
The dispersed, man. What is that? It says that whether shall he go? Whether shall he go? You know, shall he go amongst the Gentile and teach the Gentile? You look up that word, it goes into that word. Right? You know, it goes into the scattered, man. That's exactly what the brother just read, man. Those outcasts, man. You see? We was outcasts for not following the ways of the Lord, man. You see? We became Gentiles, man. That's why it says in Ephesians, you once were Gentiles, man. I mean, it says in the scriptures a lot. It might not be in Ephesians, it might be scripture. But it says you once were Gentiles, man. Yeah. You see?
Right. Real quick. Khan mentioned there's going to be a second Exodus, which is in the scriptures. This is Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 14. And it reads, therefore, behold, the days come, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that it shall no more be said that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Which is the thing that's said in the earth right now, man. You ask anybody and everybody, they know of the diaspora out of Egypt, you know, during the time of Moses. But this is speaking of something else. It says, verse 15, it says, but, so it says that's no longer going to be said. It says, but Yahweh Bashem Yahushai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers, which goes into Isaiah, the 14th chapter. He said he's going to set us back in our own land, man, not by way of the Balfour Declaration. So you know those small hatters over there are fakes, man. You know what I'm saying? So it says there's a new thing coming in the earth. It's no longer going to be spoken about the land of Egypt, but the land of the north, man. Right. We're in North America right now, in the Western Hemisphere, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it's talking about. That second diaspora, or that second Exodus, the water, my brother, is going to be out of America, man. You know, as a matter of fact, real quick. Got this real quick, and Michael. If you got some, Mike, you can bring it on.
Ezekiel 36 and 19. And I scattered them, talking about the Israelites, among the heathen, like the brother Benaiah was saying, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings, I judged them. So the reason why the Lord scattered his people is because of the wickedness and the idolatry that we was doing versus serving Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai. We started serving other idols. We broke the covenant that we agreed that we're going to follow him, right? We came out of Egypt with Moses and Aaron. We agreed to what he said we were going to do, but we disobeyed that, and the Lord scattered his people, and he discontinued our heritage from us, man. That's why now it shouldn't be a surprise. Well, if you're not spiritual, yeah, it will be. We're not going to come back looking how we was 2,000 years ago, man. We've been scattered, man. You know, Jake like to have sex with all these different women. So our children going to come looking like these other nations, and they're going to have the custom of the other nations.
Hey, going back into Genesis, man, the sons of God saw the
Right.
daughters of man that they were fair, man. You know, you see?
You can't get around.
Hey,
the
man,
scriptures,
exactly. These other nations, they have some fine women, bro.
Hell yeah.
And we the sons of God, so but we the sons of the Most High, bro.
Right.
So you telling me we only allowed to deal with one particular one. We can't have all, but the scriptures say the earth was created for our sakes, man.
Right.
So you telling me we can't enjoy all that?
Right.
We can only have just a particular group.
Right.
Now our nation is big, but man, shit, you know, just like variety, man.
Right.
Hey, yeah, grab that real quick, bro.
God. This is Numbers 24, verse 7. It says, he should pour the water out of his bucket. It's Numbers 24, verse 5. How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel. As the valleys are they spread forth as gardens by the riverside, as the trees of aloes, which the Lord has planted, as the cedar trees beside the water. It says, he shall pour the waters out of the bucket, and his seed shall be many waters.
So what is that talking about? He shall pour his waters out of his buckets, bro.
Right, man.
I mean, it's nuts. He gonna pour that sperm out his layman's term. He gonna bust one, man.
Right.
You know, it said it's gonna be in many waters. And what does the scripture tell you in Revelation 17 that the waters represent what? The nations, man.
Right.
Yeah, the sea, yeah, Salakia. Yeah, the sea represents the nations, man.
Right.
You see? So I see this gonna be in many nations. We were scattered, bro. So Jake was out there getting busy. So that's how the scriptures, when the scriptures say we're gonna be as the sands of the sea, man.
Right.
It wouldn't be high, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Right.
Man, that was it on that.
Yeah, con. This is going back into that back in that diaspora, that scattering, because this is Micah chapter 4 and verse 10. It reads, "Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies." Proving that we're gonna be saved out of America, which is AKA Babylon, man. All those things happen, man. We got ran out of Jerusalem, out of Israel, you know, by the hand of Vespasian and Titus, you know, his son Domitian, all of them. What were they? Those Caesars.
Yeah, Caesar.
Those damn Caesars, man. They're triumphant, right? Those Caesars, and we scattered and went all different directions, but majority went into the interiors of Africa and landed on the west coast of Africa, man. Which we fled different ways, even in Africa. That's why we just had the brother that came up, and he was from South Africa, man. But he had the spirit of Jake, man. You know what I'm saying? And it says there, you know, and then of course we went into Babylon from there, slave ships, Esau, you know what I'm saying? And we got bought primarily to America, man. Of course we got scattered all throughout the four corners, like the scriptures say, which I'll bring that out. And then that delivery is going to come out of Babylon, man. You know.
Hey, that's why Yahweh said that, man, that the gospel got to be preached throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Right. Because we were scattered, bro. You know, like the elder said, that's common sense, man. You see?
But the world is caught up on that John 3:16, so God loved the world. That's why the gospel got to be preached. No, it's about the world of Israel, man.
That's right.
Hey, you said, and Micah said the fields too, right?
Which
represent the world.
The world, right?
That's
That's
the world, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So going in that scattering, this is Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 33. And it reads, "And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste." You know, so the Lord is telling you right here, and which lines up perfectly. I think the brother is about to bring out the curses of Deuteronomy 28. You know, where the Lord said he was going to scatter us, man, which is part of curses. This is just one to back it up, man. In Leviticus, the 26th chapter, going into that scattering. Go ahead, Al.
This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." Right? And that's going, like I said, going into that scattering again. And we have been scattered, especially, like I say, throughout all the four corners of the earth. We came out here, constantly being scattered. And what do you do when you get scattered? You start mingling amongst the other nations. Yeah, and like John went in earlier. Yeah, you start popping these other women, and next thing you know, you have Jake looking like that nation because you're within their land. You're sojourning in their land. But now out here, we're not knowing who we are. You got to look like they like to bring up Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin looks like like I say, he could be of another nation, but he's the nation of Israel. You see his dad. His dad is I want to say like a so-called Nigerian or something, but he's a Jake. You know, so that's let you know that. And then you look at Blake Griffin's son. He looks just like Blake Griffin. You know, so he basically looks like a Edomite. But that's and then if you look at it was this Japanese chick, so-called Japanese. You know, she was Ammon, so-called Ammon, but she was like her great granddaddy was a so-called black man that was in the military. You know, and her dad was black. But she was like, but I come out and she looked just like an Ammonite. But yet she was basically her father's father, and her father was what? A so-called black man. But she didn't look nothing like it. So you gotta, you know, when we say it's not just all about color based and all that, it's what your spirit is now. Because Jake don't know. Like I said, you got Jake waking up all over the four corners of the earth. But are they looking like a so-called black, Latino, or Native American? Possibly not. But the spirit bears witness.
Hey, Cameron Diaz is another one, man.
Yep.
You know, her father is from Cuba, man, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn.
Real?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you look at her, she
Playing
looks
that
like a
motherfucker.
so-called white woman, man.
Yep.
But she's Jake. The seed is of the father, right?
Yep.
See? So you're gonna have these. Hey, there's a lot of celebrities. You know, Jake debate about. You know what I'm saying? You can like Leonardo DiCaprio. That's a Jake, man. You can tell by their spirits, the way they spirit and the way they flow, man. You know, you can tell when a damn heathen trying to act. You know, versus when it's just natural. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how. Hey, the spirit bear witness, man.
Yep. Then you got those tears, you know, like Lenny Kravitz. He probably got the talent from his mama's side, you know. But his dad is an Edomite. Those Maury twins, Tia and Tamara, hey, their dad is an Edomite. You know, they're tears. They look like they, you know, so-called black, but they ain't. They're basically from the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau.
Tracy Ellis Ross and her brother.
Right.
Damn, Rosses. Yep. Yeah, she would one of them so-called Jews. They Edomites.
Yeah, damn Edomites.
Was that it? Yeah, got some more. This is Tobit, chapter 13, and verse 3. And it reads, confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. So just another one going into the fact that the Lord scattered us among these Gentiles, man. You know, that diaspora, as a matter of fact, I'll grab that real quick. It's in John's, the 7th chapter? Oh, you already there?
I'm in verse 5, chapter 5.
26, 7, 8.
Something like
Yep. The Lord scattered us because of the disobedience that we've done, man. That's it. You know, we disobeyed with the Lord, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So therefore, he got mad and he scattered us through these other nations, man. You got it right now.
This is John 7:35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go until the dispersed amongst the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? Can you get that in the NLT, bro?
Huh.
This gonna break your man. We can get that word too, man. We can get that word for dispersed, man. You know?
35.
Yeah, 35.
This is John 7:35. It says the Jewish leaders were puzzled by the statement. Where is he? Like, I'm reading that. John 7:35. It says the Jews leader puzzled by the statement. Where is he planning to go? They asked. Is he thinking of leaving the country and going to the Jews in the land?
In other lands.
Yeah, in other lands.
You see? Showing you that those Gentiles were just Jews in other lands, bro. Who was following the ways and customs of those different various lands where they were scattered at, man. You see?
Says maybe he will even teach the Greeks.
And then when you get that word Greek, man, matter of fact, grab it, bro. You know? Grab that word Greek, man. It's gonna go into Hellenists, man. Helen. Which
Mhm.
you got it, bro.
This is the word Greek is strong G, 1672, Helen. All right. It says a Greek, either by nationality, whether a native or a mainland, or of the Greek islands or colonies. It says, in a wider sense, the name embraces all nations, not Jews that made the language, customs, and learning of the Greeks their own.
You see? So that's basically what happened during the time of Alexander, during the time of the Greek activity, man. We were Hellenized, bro. You know, that's what the argument was about in Acts. You know how the Greeks were they were mad because I think it was like their wives wouldn't be able. Matter of fact, go ahead, bro.
God. This is Acts chapter 6 and verse 1. And it reads, and in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians, which are those Greeks, against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. So can I read that in the NIV? Because it's going to break it down who those Grecians are, man. So when the scriptures speak of there's no difference between the Jew and the Greek,
Right.
this is what it's talking about. Acts 6 and 1 in the NIV. And it reads, in those days when the number of disciples was increasing, the Hellenistic Jews among them complained against the Hebraic Jews because their widows were being overlooked in the daily distribution of food, man. It's just that simple. It's talking about Israelites, man.
Right.
Vocab alone, man. Hey, that devil, man.
The devil, man.
He's just a fucking demon,
He's a
man.
sad puppy, man.
What version was that, bro?
That's an IB right there, bro.
Man, bro, it was a banger, bro.
NIV got some bad ones too,
Yeah.
bro.
NIV got like NLT, right?
No, this NIV. NLT.
Hey,
Most of
man,
a lot of stuff we go NLT, but
Yeah.
NIV be getting down too.
So
So
they were crazy pissed off because Jake probably was coming up, tatted up, all
Yeah.
kind of shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? How people looking out just blow the hell out. You know, you imagine them coming up.
Bro.
You know, like,
Exactly.
I remember when Short had this and shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Bugged out. You know, they was tripping, man.
Like
Yeah.
Grace
They were
Jones and
cussing to
shit.
keep the law. You know, they were strict on that, man.
right.
And they coming in there, now they coming in. Oh man, hell no.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That was the whole argument, man. It wasn't about other nations being joined in, heathen nations being joined in. The Lord said, "Hey, I'm Lord, I changed not, man." When you read about the covenants, man, it only says with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, man.
That's it.
That's it,
It
bro.
don't say with nobody else, man. If it was so, the Lord would have put it in there, man.
Right.
Yup.
Meaning you're adding to the word, man.
Yup.
This is Matthew 10, and start at verse 5. It says, these 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into the city of the Samaritans, enter ye not. It says, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So like I said, don't go into the houses of the Samaritans. So you cannot incorporate these other heathen nations if they're not of the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. So when we're scattered abroad, like I said, you can't still bring these other nations in unless their father is what? The lineage of Israel.
Yep.
He
These
said-
goddamn Samaritans was those Samaritans sometimes established in the back. At one moment they'll be on our side saying we the Israelites, but then we start going off to catch hell, and they turn their back upon us. Some fucking
Right.
Samaritans was a bunch of garbage people, not garbage, a bunch of niggas anyways, man. They wasn't Israelites. But so we doing good, then they want to say, no, I'll pray to your God, we do whatever.
Right.
But then as we start going off on our power, they start getting judged, and they're like, nah, they won't help us in that. So they fuck them Samaritans, man.
Yeah, when them niggas, man, during the what is it, Second Kings 17, when it talks about when how the Lord was fucking them up when they came to the land because they weren't keeping it, they didn't know how to keep the way. So they brought priests back,
Yup.
and then they started calling themselves out our people, man.
That's it, right?
That's why that's a miracle. You know, my father's worship this man. What do Yahushua tell him? Woman, this day, hey, you know not what you worship, man.
Right.
You know.
Hey, when you go into that word lost in what is it, Matthew 10 and 6, it is strong G 622, apollomai. It says to destroy, to put out of the way entirely, abolish, put an end to ruin.
To ruin, man. We was that, bro. The Lord had cast us out, bro. You see? So it goes to the lost sheep, man. You know?
Yeah, right.
But man, come on, bro. That's why you gotta know the history, man. You know, you gotta go into the history, man. To know you can't just jump to the New Testament and think you know what the hell you're talking about, man.
Right.
You don't got no understanding of the history that took place before, man. That's why that shows you that Christians don't read the Bible, man.
Right.
You know, they just go, oh yeah, New Testament, oh Old Testament. They don't know nothing about the Old Testament, man.
Nothing.
They don't know nothing about the captivities. Nothing, bro. But where can you read about the captivities, man? In the Old Testament, bro.
Right. Right. And then the Apocrypha.
Yep, the Apocrypha. Yep.
Really started going off during the time of Maccabees. That's when we became Hellenized, man.
Right.
You know, Antiochus ass, you know, Alexander and shit. But y'all don't want to study their history to know that. That you lazy-minded. Like the apostle said, you lazy-minded.
Yahushua said he did not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill. So if you're in the New Testament reading the fulfillment of the law, how are you going to know what the law is unless you go back? All right? So you got to go back to the Old Testament to basically get learned up on the laws, statute, commandment, to know what Yahushua was fulfilling. He was fulfilling that law, going to the sacrificial law.
That was straight out Yahushua's mouth himself, bro. Of any of the city of Samaria enter ye not, man. So go not in the way of the Gentiles, man. But go to the lost sheep, meaning go to my people, man. Go to the Israelites, man, that was scattered. Go to those Gentiles, the Israelites who were keeping the customs, man. Or those different various lands that they were scattered into. Man, that shit made no goddamn sense. I hate that.
These bitches love him on the type.
Yeah, man.
Man, I'm telling you, bro.
What's it? It don't matter? Yeah. Okay, this is Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24. And it reads, but he answered and said, red letters, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So that's plain and clear out of Yahushua's mouth, his own mouth, man. That's out of the horse's mouth. He said he wasn't sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's who he came for. You know what I'm saying? So, as a matter of fact, in Romans, the 9th chapter, in verse 5, this is Romans chapter 5 and verse, Romans chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as a matter of fact, I'm going to have to read up. Let me read up. I should start at the top. Romans 9 and 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites. So Paul was talking to Israel, man. That's why Paul, in all of his epistles, his letters, he always started with brethren, man. He's telling you right now, my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, man. So ain't no spiritual Israelites, man. You got to be of the lineage, of the chosen lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And of course, on down to the 12 sons, and so on and so forth. It says, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants, plural, and the giving of the law. That's why the Quran mentioned earlier, when you read in Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, Hebrews, the 8th chapter, it says Judah and Israel, nobody else, man. You made that point. Because the covenants go to them, man, plural, both. It says, and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises. That's everything, man. Everything goes to the Israelites. Verse 5, whose are the fathers, and of whom concerning the flesh Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High blessed forever, amen. So that's the flesh that Yahushua came for. Right. The Israelites, man, according to the flesh, man, who pertaineth everything. They get everything, man. And that's why he said in Matthew the 15th chapter, he is not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man.
Hey, the Lord, man, the Lord chose Israel from the beginning, man.
Yep.
See? Yep. The Lord ain't changed his mind like we said earlier, man. Malachi, what is that, 3 and 6, man? I am the Lord, I change not. We still are those. The Lord ain't decided to, well, I'm going to get some other people. Right. I'm going to get some more people, too. I'm going to add some more people in. Right. No, man. It's still about the nation of Israel, man. You see? That's when the brother just read about the salvation, the Lord sent his hand a second time. Yep. Why did it say everybody else? Right. He's talking about he said the remnant of his people. Who are his people? Right. Deuteronomy 7 and 6, the nation of Israel. The Lord have chosen us to be a special people unto himself, man. Above all people, man. And you may be asking yourself, well, why would the Lord do that? Why did the Lord do that? Because the Lord can do what he wants, man. You see? Just like you got your brother said all the time, man. Here it is, we got all these reigns of motion. The Lord can't The Lord can't like something special that He created, man.
Right.
He didn't create it out, man. Matter of fact, you got something, bro?
No, you go ahead.
All right, second Esdras 5:23. It says, then said, I started 22. It says, and my soul received the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High again, and said, O Lord, that beareth rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee only one vine, and of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit. You see, and that's how you can prove too that when it talks about that bottomless pit in Revelation, that's talking about a land, man.
Right.
It's not actually talking about the underground some damn word, man. It's talking about the land of Europe, man. You see? It says, chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof only one lily. Okay? It says, verse 25, and of all the depths of the sea thou hast filled thee one river, and of all the builded city thou hast hollowed Zion unto thyself. And of all the fowls that are created thou hast named thee one dove, and of all the cattle that are made thou hast provided thee one sheep. And among all the multitudes of people thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people thou givest a law that is above all, man. You see? Wow. And that's what made us special, man. Because we were given the laws, man. No other nation was given that, man. That's what separated us from these other nations, man. That's how we stood out, man. You see? So the Lord got favorites, man. You got your favorite shoes, the Lord got his favorite, the Lord got his favorite nation, man. Out of all the people that he created, man.
But he can't have any emotions.
Christianity always try to confine the Lord into a box, man.
Yep, right.
You know?
Christians suck, man. Y'all are trash, bro.
This is Romans 11, verse 25, and the point is going into like in verse 26, 27. It says, for I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of the mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceit.
He talking to Israelites. Read at the top again.
Good. It says, for I would not, brethren.
Brethren, I just made that point from Romans the 9th chapter, man. He says brethren, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In his epistles, he's talking to those same people who are Israelites, according to the flesh. Go ahead.
That's personal. Personal. You personalize it. You say brethren, that's personal, man.
Right.
We got it right.
That ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceit. It says that blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. And that blindness to the, of Israel, to the fullness of the Gentiles come in. All right? So their eyes will be open. And they ain't talking about everybody. As the Quran went into, it goes into Israel, the brethren. Verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer that shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. It says, for this is my covenant unto them when I shall take away their sins. Who that? The sins they're taking away, their sins were his brethren. All right, as it says in Romans 9, his brethren, his kinsmen, who are Israelites, according to the flesh. All right, and that's going into what? He said, deliver and turn away the ungodliness of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. All right, who had what? The 12 sons. And out of their loins came out the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is the New Testament.
It is. And it says ungodliness from Jacob because Jacob was given the law, like the Quran said, man. So I want to bring that out to Psalms 147 and verse 19 and 20. And it reads, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so, with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Bashim Shai. So the law, statutes, and commandments was given to Jacob, man, which represents the Israelites. It says the statutes and the judgments to Israel, man. He had not dealt so with any nation. Right. So any other nation, man. That means that's why these other nations can go and eat ill and live 100 years, 100 plus years, run a marathon. Jake eat that shit and it'll pass out right here. You know, run a few steps and pass out, man. Get all kind of diseases. You got something out? Go ahead.
Amos 3:1. Hear the word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
You only have I known out of all the families of the earth. Didn't the Quran just bring out in second Esdras? You know what I'm saying? The Lord chose, man. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he can. If I'd have kept reading in Romans the 9th chapter, it would have went into that, man. Nay, but oh man, who art thou that replies against the Most High? Yep. I can do what the hell I want to do, man. You know what I'm saying? You're the potter. I mean, he's the potter. You're the clay. Salakia. Go ahead,
Verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
I will punish you for all of your iniquities. He ain't worrying about them others. He gonna fuck them up anyway, man. Salakia. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get them. Isaiah the 40th chapter. As a matter of fact, I'll bring that out real quick. Tells you that he hate these nations, man.
And all because Jake got the laws, statutes, and commandments and broke them. The Lord sent thy ass to these other heathen nations with a sword behind us, to fuck us up. At the end of the day, fucking Chinese people ain't going through no shit like that.
Right.
All other nations on the planet, they got their poor people amongst them too. But if they poor amongst them, they gotta be Israelites.
Yeah.
Hey, like the Quran said, in the hell they're going into, man. Like the brother, like the priest and the elder was going into, man. Here it is, you brought up the fact that I have people, these nations, and the elder did too, about the Chinese. Them niggas can eat any fucking thing and live to be 110. You niggas is dying. You niggas is dying early as hell, man. Goddamn leg and foot chopped off, man, through. From eating that shit, man. Because the Lord told you not to do it, man. That's why he said he gonna punish you for your iniquities, man. Yep. And that's constant sin. The iniquity is constantly doing it, bro. Right. Our people constantly, like I said in Isaiah, laden with iniquity, man. Mm-hmm. You covered in that shit, man.
Yep. Yeah, this is just to prove that the Lord ain't with these nations, man. This is Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. So the nations are as a drop of a bucket. You got a bucket of water, and you wash your car or something, and you going, and it flops around, a little drop falls out. You ain't gonna stop and say, "Oh shit!" Nah, man, you gonna go on your way to do what you was doing. You're not worried about that drop. So the Lord is comparing these nations to that drop, man. It says, verse 16, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for burnt offering. So he's not accepting your sacrifices, man. You can burn up all the trees, and sacrifice all, the beasts, and the Lord ain't accepting it, man. Especially what he let you know right here, man. Verse 17, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. So these nations are nothing. How can you be less than nothing? Negative nothing, man. I mean, the damn nothing is nothing. Lord took it the next step further, man. Less than nothing. Showing you how he feels about these damn nations, man.
Right. But the Most High didn't show himself to these other nations. Right. He showed himself up to Jacob, man.
Exactly.
To the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
They talk about that, like, where damn. I think it's in, like, Deuteronomy or something, bro. Matter of fact, maybe in Deuteronomy, he basically said, like, where like, the Most High basically said, like, look at the days of old and ask if this ever happened. You know what I'm saying? How the Lord, it says basically have anybody heard the voice of the Lord from the woods? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, yeah.
I think it's in, like, Deuteronomy, like, 2. Okay. It's,
yeah.
But like the elder said, man, that show, man, ain't nobody, bro. It's all, hey, man, Yahweh Shemir Shah chose us, man.
All right.
See, he only dealing with us, man. I'm gonna try to find that.
You can't put either Esau in there when he ain't gonna repent for nothing he did.
Right. Exactly.
He don't feel sorry for what he did to the nation of Israel, man.
Nope. And the scriptures say that in Revelations, that he repented not of his sorceries and his, his robberies and you know, everything that this devil has did, man. He's not going to repent. He can't repent, pursuing the Hebrews, the 12th chapter, but he's not going to repent. You know what I'm saying?
This is 2nd Ezra 6, start at verse 54. It says, after these, Adam whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All right, let you know that out of all these people that came from Adam, there's a certain elect group that he has chosen. All right, it says, verse 55, all this have I spoken before thee, O Yahweh, because thou madest the world for our sake. And who is our sake? Is the sake of the ones that he has chosen. We just read that in the previous verse. It says,
let me get that real quick, just to prove that. This is Isaiah 44:1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen.
Woo!
So there it is. That's the chosen that it's speaking of.
And who was the only group of people that came out of Egypt and then was in the wilderness? Right. Wasn't no other nation in the wilderness with us, man.
Right.
He didn't bring no other nation through the Red Sea. He didn't lead no other nations out of Egypt but the Israelites, right? You got it, all right.
It says, verse 56, and going to, as for the other people, which thou come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but a like unto spittle. What is that? Spit.
Disgusting. You can be walking, if you see some spit and you step in that shit, oh, you're going to feel dirty as hell. You know what I'm saying? You be like, yeah, wiping it off. So the Lord sees these nations just the same way, man. You know what I'm saying? As nothing, some spit. You know what I'm saying? Less than nothing. Go ahead.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. You just read in Isaiah 40. You know, like you waste a little bit, you don't care about that. They're less than nothing. That's what the Lord says. So how would he redeem someone that, first of all, didn't receive the law, statute, commandments in the wilderness, but yet he's going to redeem them? Redeem means bring back, you know, receive again, read. All right. And he said they nothing. So now there's something? No. Yeah. The Lord said, I change not.
Yeah. These Christians always trying to act like in one part of the Bible is saying one thing, another part is saying something else. You ain't gonna find no contradictions in the book.
Right.
Lord said he's not the author of confusion. You ain't gonna go one place and then say something different in another, man. That was Isaiah and Ezra's, man, which is Ezra in the Old Testament, man.
Right.
You know, this was in that Greek captivity. You know what I'm saying? But he was being referred to as Esdras. But they were saying the same exact thing, man.
That's right.
Two different prophets.
Yeah. The only contradiction is you people.
Right.
Y'all a fucking walking contradiction, man.
Exactly. You're the confusion, not the Lord. His word ain't confusing.
He said unto the pure, all things are pure, man.
There it is.
Talk about this doctrine.
That's right.
So you motherfuckers are walking contradiction.
Exactly.
You live in a contradiction.
I want to bring this out because the elder, you had mentioned about like basically how ain't nobody ever heard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, basically I'll read it. This is Deuteronomy 4:32. It says, For ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that the Most High created man upon earth, and ask from the one side of heaven unto the other, whether there have been any such thing as this great thing is, or have been heard of like it. Did ever people hear the voice of the Most High speaking out of the midst of the fire, and have not, and thou hast, as thou hast heard and lived, or have the Most High essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation by temptation, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand? I'm talking about Egypt, man. It says, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that the Lord your God did for you in Egypt before your eyes. You see? Ain't no other guy. Hey, bro. Our power is the only true. That's why the scriptures say he's the only true living power. That's why Yahweh say, there is none beside me. He said he has searched. He ain't found not one, man. You see? Because he's the Most High, man. You see? All the gods of the heathen, all these gods of the planet Earth right now, they what did it say? They idols, man. All the gods of the nations are idols, man.
Right.
You see, that's why you got examples of our forefathers like who was that? Elijah, mocking the prophets of Baal, man. You see, even Gideon, daddy, man. when Gideon tore down the altar of Baal, man, and them niggas woke up the next day, they wanted to kill Gideon. And Gideon dad and told, why are you pleading for Baal? If he a God, let him plead for himself, man. You see? So it's kind of Daniel, Baal and the dragon, man, constantly showing you people that hey, man, our people that these idols are nothing. These so-called gods of the heathen worship are nothing but idols and statues, man. They're not the true living power, man.
Right. You people are
37.
retarded, man. You people are mentally, spiritually retarded. You go pray to a fucking statue. That proves you for the understanding. You walk around in darkness, man. Go ahead, right?
Like them, Islam praying to a damn rock. You know what I'm saying? Cobblestone 5 times a day, man.
What the fuck the rock gonna do for you, idiot?
Yeah, man.
Wood and stone. That's in the curses, man. Those are the two. Christianity and Islam is the two primary religions that Jake is caught up in, man. Which is a curse, man.
Right.
Yeah. You know. You had Malcolm X, and then even in this show, you in the movie, that nigga went over there to Mecca.
Right.
Nigga walking around and did all that bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Praying to a damn rock.
Yeah.
You know. This is back in Deuteronomy 4 and verse 35. It says, "Unto thee it was showed that thou mightest know that Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, is the God, is the power. There is none else besides Him. Out of heaven, He made thee to hear a voice, that He might instruct thee. And upon earth He showed thee His great fire, and thou heardest the words out of the midst of the fire. And because He loved thy fathers, therefore He chose thee, their seeds after them, and brought them out."
Hey, I can say the love of their father, He chose thee. All right, just like we just read in Isaiah 40, read in 2nd Ezra 6. You know, He said that was a chosen line. He said that He loved their father. He didn't say nothing about those Egyptian fathers. All right, what did He do to them father that was in Egypt? Those actual Egyptians. He killed their firstborn. He said to hell with them. He brought them sorrow. Egypt was never the same after Yahweh came through with that death angel Yahushua and went through and decimated Egypt.
Yep.
That wasn't showing love to them.
Yep. And all the plagues that was taking place, Israel was untouched, man.
Untouched.
It said when He brought the darkness, they had light. You know, all those plagues the Lord did, Israel was protected from it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Including that last one, they put the blood on the door, on the doorpost, man. You know. It says, "And brought thee out in His sight with His mighty power out of Egypt."
With that mighty power out of Egypt. And this is going to be that second delivering with that mighty power. You know, now we're in the land of Sodom and Egypt. So that's going to happen again. Like Khan just said, they had Egypt, and they was going through all type of sorrow and grief because of the plague. But was Israel in their quarters doing what? Looking at them, watching the screams and everything.
Yep.
You know?
Everybody terrified hearing all them screams. They
Yep.
said it was a great cry in Egypt.
Yeah.
You hearing a whole bunch of screams like, damn. It ain't nothing but the whole country. It's light where you at, but it's dark, black as hell. You ain't hearing nothing but screams.
Yeah. No, that's
The
scary.
Lord went hard, man. I said the Lord went so hard, bro. He killed the firstborn of their fucking cattle, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
They even more.
Bro.
Yeah, all type of more.
Everything. Yeah. That's real talk. Real talk.
Woo. That's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord.
Bro,
Right.
the Lord said, I'm going to touch them. I'm going to touch everything these niggas
Touch, put them paws on you.
got. Man.
Word.
They didn't want to hear it.
Right.
Drew, got something?
No.
That's it. Then. Hey,
This is Isaiah 45, verse 17. Real quick, it says, "But Israel shall be saved in Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end." Right? And like I said, that's going into that the everlasting salvation. And when you go into that world, all right, that's going into the world without end. It's going to the whole world. It's not the same as John.
No, finish the thought, but don't let it go yet.
Good. It's that's not the same world that's going into when they try to say John 3 and 16. All right, because John 3 and 16 go into that word cosmos when they say world. That's why you got to look at these words. It goes to that word cosmos. All right. So that's basically going into the harmonious arrangement. All right, of Israel. Just like you say, the world of baseball, the world of
Edom.
Edom.
This
You know,
world go in.
that's right.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
right. So,
Insect world.
mhm.
Yeah, animal world, all that.
Yeah.
Sea world.
Yeah,
Yep.
sea world. Yeah.
Right. You know, so it's a distinct thing. But when you go into this world, when you go and look into it, all right, when you go into this, it goes into what? Eon. It's going into like a time. You go everlasting. All right. So world without end is gonna. You know how somebody say, man, if you I ain't seen you. It's been eons ago. It's going into a time. So that time is gonna not end. World without end. All right. So it's gonna continue on for eons
For the Israelites.
for the Israelites.
That's it. No other. The other nation gonna be in our kingdom in slavery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's only right. You can't defile the Israelite blood on this land, and then like in order for you to cleanse the blood, your blood gotta be shed, man.
Right.
It's gonna do away with that. And then we still up here in this man's land. We still in captivity. Exodus 21:16 said, if thou should be found in thine hand, shall be put to death. You know? That's why the Lord come back to restore the place and to deliver the elect of his people, man. You know?
All right. You lead into captivity, shall go into captivity. So we're still in captivity. So when the Lord comes, he's going to see whose hand we're in. We're still captive of Esau Edom.
See? That's that word, like the brother said, that's that word in John 3:6. That's the word that it's talking about right here, bro. The nigga said Israel shall be. Yeah, exactly. You know, they said the Most High. What it said? As a matter of fact, John 3:16. For the Most High so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in Him, see, they get caught up on that whosoever.
Yeah.
Right. You know, on these words, all. Who is that? Who is that talking to? Though?
Right.
Right. You know.
Just read up 2 more verses. It'll tell you.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it.
Read up in John 3:16. Go up to another verse or two,
Yeah.
and it'll tell you, man.
Exactly. I'll read it. John 3:14.
Yep.
It says, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up.
So who was in the wilderness? You Christians, man. You fucking Christians are bums, man. Fucking through. Who was in the wilderness, man? Who's with Moses? You got it.
It says,
Go back to the Old Testament, you'll find out.
Yep. That whosoever believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life. For the Most High so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life. You see? And it tells you that, hey, man, a son, what is that in Isaiah, man? It's talking about a son is basically given, man. You know? I think it is, bro. You know, but he was talking to Israel, man. You know? That son was given for the nation of Israel. That's why it says in Matthew 1, He shall save His people, man. From their sins, exactly.
His.
Acts 5.
Possessive pronoun.
His.
His. Their. Thee. Mine.
That's your call.
Us.
Yeah, exactly.
Our. Not Will.
Yeah.
I mean, not Will. Not we.
Yeah.
Not them. No. No. His.
Yeah.
Mine.
Hey, when you say the others or something like that, it's always some bad news. You know, when you say, and to the others that are of a battle.
Right.
Shit, that wasn't good news. That's nothing.
Right.
So when he's being possessive, he's talking about a world without end. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that they're going to have everlasting salvation. And to the others, they ain't shit. That's basically what the Lord is saying. They ain't nothing.
That's it.
Like that's a wave towards Bob.
Go up there and read that, cause read it again on the was it 14?
Yeah, 14. All right, John 3:14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up.
And when you go into the account in the Old Testament, because Christians don't like to deal with the Old Testament, that's why they don't know nothing. They're not dealing with the Old Testament. You can't take this book, start and go to the New Testament and think you're going to understand what's going on, man.
Right.
The reason that he's likening it to Moses in the wilderness when he raised up the serpent is because Jake was being wicked, and he sent some what is the Bible calls fiery serpents, which is poisonous snakes, in on them, and those snakes was biting them and putting them to death, man. So he told Moses to put the serpent on the stick and raise it up, and all they that looked up to the serpent when they were bit, it wasn't going to kill them, man. It wasn't going to put them to death. They won't continue to live. Yahweh, which is in the wilderness with Israel. And these times, Yahweh represents that same thing, man. He's that serpent that those same spirits that are back to date, that was then, now, are those that's looking to Yahweh Shai in these times.
This is that serpent. The standard is being lifted up.
Right.
This is it.
Yeah. What's that? When it says that Isaiah 13, lift up the banner.
Yeah.
The banner, man. You know, that's what it's talking about. Yahweh Shai, man.
That's it. Whoso, you keep reading down, whosoever of what he's talking about.
Right.
Looking upon this
Exactly.
for deliverance, man. Now Esau took that same sign, his medical symbol, but that's for another day. On the left hand side, you know, that's another day for that.
Right.
They got the caduceus snake around
Yep.
that.
Yep.
That's why.
Look, they have to be healed. See,
Right.
yeah, man. So
Right.
That's why when Jake see the avalanche coming, oh, salvation.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
Happy
it.
as hell.
You know,
Yep. That'd be another lesson. Maybe we get together and do that sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, man. Whosoever, talking about the Israelites who was getting bit by those fiery serpents.
Exactly.
And he told them, look upon this, whoever will believe.
Right.
Yeah. You see? That's that connection, man.
When you believe, you look upon it, what did you receive?
Right.
That mercy. You didn't
Mercy.
receive that death.
Right.
Same thing with Yahweh Shai. He said he's gonna basically sit on the throne of David. We're gonna receive that mercy if we believe and believe in him, have that faith. All right, because right now we're in a period of mercy period.
Right. Yep.
So we're looking upon the Lord to deliver us. Because whoever's not looking upon the Lord and have that faith, and they're gonna receive death.
And 2/3 are the ones that was getting bitten, put to death back then, which in these times going to be said, Zechariah 13:8.
Yep.
2 part shall be cut off and die. It's the same spirits, man. Back doing the same, you know. So, but I got one real quick. Yeah, I just want to prove that that whosoever, they love to, you know, like the Khan says. So this is Acts 2:21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, or the Lord, shall be saved. So it says whosoever. They love to run the scriptures like this. See, it said whosoever. Keep reading. Verse 22. Ye men of Israel, hear these words.
Wow.
So it's talking to Israelites, man. And then when you continue to read down to verse, as a matter of fact, I'll read it, verse 5, Acts 2:5, it says, read up, read up. In that same chapter, in verse 5, it reads, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven, man. Jews. You know what I'm saying?
Not everyone.
Not everyone.
Everybody, no, it's not talking about the world, man.
Exactly.
Only the Israelites of that world.
Yep. And then it goes into naming those places, man.
Yep.
Where they that's scattering, man.
That's right.
You know? Here. What the hell?
I'm ready. You got something else? Go ahead.
You know? So Lord, hey man, that's how you know, like they did. That's why prophecy trumps all, man. You gotta understand prophecy, man. If you understand prophecy, then you know who this book is for, man. You see?
Right. Exactly.
You know the Lord, now you know the Lord, because when you go into Daniel, man, it talks about those kingdoms and how the Lord is going to destroy it. It says in Daniel too that the kingdom should not be left to other people, man.
Right.
You know that, hey, that nation that the Lord is getting ready to stand up, you know, the Lord is getting ready to establish. It's going to be the nation, the kingdom of heaven, man, which is the kingdom of Israel, man.
Right.
12 gates in the kingdom of heaven, man.
That's right.
Where everybody else gate at? What a gate for everybody else, man. And they ain't got one, man. You see?
Right. No more bike gate.
Yeah, ain't no Moabite gate in the back.
Right.
No,
Hell no.
you know? No, man. You know?
Ain't
So you everybody can't enter into this.
Right.
Hey, that's why it says in Lazarus, it's when it talks about the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, it's a great gulf. A great gulf between that rich man, you know, and Lazarus, man. You know, we know that rich man is talking about Esau, but they can be compared to the other nations as well, man.
Right.
They ain't gonna be able to enjoy that. Just like we didn't. Hey, the nations, man. When you read that parable, they was enjoying a part of Esau's kingdom, man. It said they were licking on our wound. They was eating off our people too, man.
Right.
And so they were licking our swords, man. Showing they eat through their stores, their gas stations, all that, just eating off our people, man. You know, they was enjoying a part of Esau's shit, man.
Right.
But we not gonna be able to, bro.
Right.
I mean, they not gonna be able to enjoy our shit, man. You know, they don't, man, bro. They's gonna be in subjection, man.
That's right. This is Psalms 130, start at verse 7. It says, let Israel hope in Yahweh Shem Shai. For with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption. It says, and he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. Once again, going to that nation of Israel. All right? And he said they're going to receive what? That mercy. And these times, like I said, we're going to receive, Lord willing, and like I said, the elect are going to see what? That sure mercy of David. All right? And he said what? That redemption. He said he shall redeem Israel. All right? Bring Israel back. He didn't say bring everybody else back.
Right.
The nation of Israel. All right? So we're supposed to be receiving that sure mercy of David, and these times it's going to be the elect. You know, like the hundred went into Zechariah, that the 2/3 is going to basically be, they're going to fall short by the wayside, as they say. All right? They're going to be within the congregation of the heathen getting destroyed.
Yeah, I just bring this out just because Kahan mentioned those 12 gates. So I'm gonna bring this out, man. This is Revelation chapter 7. I'm gonna get to the point, verse 4. And the reason I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So to recap that, the Israelites were scattered. The Lord is bringing out his hand a second time to bring his people back. He's going to only redeem 144,000 this time because 2/3 of his people don't want to return and come back.
Right.
You know, that's it. The other nations can't be delivered. They're not involved in the covenants. The covenant only means agreement, man.
Right.
Like they said the word covenant, like it just means agreement, man.
Yeah.
We agree what the Lord said we go do. If we went against that agreement, so he punishes his people, man. That's it. You know, we will come looking like other nations. Now he's bringing, like what Benaiah said, to preach the word. What did you say? In the four corners of the earth. He made the internet for that. We ain't got to fly on planes like they them to go do that.
Right.
To spread this gospel. Why? Because Israelites are scattered. To bring them back into that fold, man. Back into the house of David, house of King David.
The vocab will read that and say that the Lord is only saving 144,000
Right.
Israelites. The great multitudes is the rest of the nation.
Yep.
You know, like, that don't make no damn sense. So the Lord chosen people, he only gonna save 144,000. But everybody else gonna get it's gonna be a great multitude of everybody else.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
That great multitude ain't even came yet. It's coming. The next event gonna take place. That multitude gonna come out.
Exactly.
It's gonna come.
Right. That's basically, man, that's going into, bro, then 144, that's going into the governing body, right?
Right.
Of the nation of Israel, man. Those men that is going to be crowned by the Lord, man. That it speaks of in 2nd Esdras, man. Chapter 2, man. Those ones that's going to be crowned, man. But it talks about that great multitude. That great multitude are Israelites, man.
Right. Right.
The scattered, man.
It's gonna come looking like Jackie Chan.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Gonna come looking like Matumbo.
Yep.
Gonna come looking like Shaka Zulu.
Yep.
Gonna be some crazy looking
Yeah,
Israelites coming,
exactly.
man.
Yep.
Gonna come looking like, hey, no, buddy. Gonna come looking like his ass.
Right.
Come looking like some goddamn Arabs. They're gonna come looking like everybody on the planet, man.
That's it.
You know,
That's it.
Can't get past it, man.
that speckled bird, where it speaks of in the book of Jeremiah. Or in the Isaiah, about the speckled bird.
That's Jeremiah 12.
Jeremiah, yeah, done.
Yep. 12 and 9. That's it.
This is Ephesians 1. Start at verse 3. It says, blessed be the power of our Father, of our Lord, Yahushua Mashiach, who has blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Mashiach, according as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before in him, having predestined us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua Mashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. And like I say, he keep going into saying us, all right? And like I said, that's that predestined. If you go to something that were predestined, we were predestined for what? The foundation of the earth, all right? Don't that go back to the Old Testament, all right? The earth was without void, and what happened? The Lord created and started what? Creating. And we was back then, so you have to basically say that's the Old Testament, and you have to basically give reference to the Old Testament, because you can't get to, what is that saying? You don't know where you're going unless you know where you come from.
Right.
So so you got to know something about the Old Testament to know and get an understanding of the New Testament. It says, verse 6 says, to praise the glory of his grace, within he has made us accepted in the beloved.
That grace is going into him giving us this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, man. That's why we're blessed. See, you got it.
It says, in whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins according to the riches of his grace.
Now that blood is going into the wisdom and knowledge and understanding. If you don't have this blood in your doorpost in your mind, like the doorpost that actually happened during the time of Egypt, they physically put the blood upon that doorpost. Now, the doorpost is your mind with the words of Yahweh Shah, man.
That's right.
That's that grace. See?
And read
To
the
be
last
adopted back into this agreement, man.
Right. Ephesians 1:7 says, in whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins,
forgiveness of sins and what?
according to the riches of his grace.
Okay, the forgiveness of sin, it says the same things in Acts 5, bro. You know, to give repentance unto Israel and forgiveness of sins. Bro.
Right.
Showing you, bro. That's talking about Israelites, man. Precept must be upon precept, man. Line upon line, here a little and there a little, man.
Right.
You see? That's how you understand it, man. You know? The Lord made this a mystery, man. A mystery is not going to tell you that, oh, I didn't go this way. Nah, it's going to be, you have to figure it out, man. It's going to be, you have to read the whole, that's why you got to read the volume of the book, man. The Lord comes in the volume of the book, man. So,
That's where his spirit is in the volume of the book, man.
That's right.
You know? That's why you Christians don't get it, man. You try to not deal with the Old Testament, man, or the prophets.
Right.
You know, want to just go to the New Testament. You know, they don't deal with the Apocrypha. They don't deal with none of it. They trying to do it now because we out here. You know, we're forcing them to do it. You know, but Christians ain't never dealt with any of that, man.
No, they don't, man. That's crazy, bro. I was chilling with my moms this weekend, man, and she came over Sunday. You know, she had just got out of church. Just making conversation. Hey, mom, you know what I'm saying? What they speak about at church? I forgot what she said, man. It was just something, but it wasn't about what's going on the planet Earth, man. It wasn't about the turmoils and the war and the famine that's getting ready to come, man.
Right.
That shows you that they're not true. These preachers are not true prophets, man.
It wasn't sent.
They're not sent, man. You see why they're not warning the people, man? Don't say blow that. That's that uncertain sound that it talks about in the book of Corinthians, man. That trumpet giving an uncertain sound so the people are not preparing themselves for the battle, man. You know, these people are gonna walk into this thing with nothing, bro. They're gonna go into a gunfight with nothing, not even a fucking taser, man.
Right.
A knife or some pepper spray. You're just gonna walk in there. No armor on, just goddamn flip flops and a tank top. You know? You ain't ready for the battle, man.
Catch you on the other side.
Exactly. You know?
There used to be a song in the church. It was say, soon and very soon we are going to see the King. So they be singing about that. But what about before you see the King? What about what's going to go on between that time period from now until then?
Look, if you're going to see something, I mean, you got to take a trip or you got to go on this path. So lead them to see that King on this path could be all kind of uncertainties, man. Right, man. Up,
hey, man, you know, so with that, Lord, witness is edifying. Want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh.
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors unto the apostles of the Millstone, and teaching, rule well, peace and blessings unto the elect. Shalom.
Shalom. ETA.